Hello there, welcome to the Digital Takeover. The internet is full of whys. And one of the biggest whys is why are SEO agencies struggling right now. And it isn't because SEO is harder. Most are struggling because they've lost control, and most don't really realize how far it's already gone. Right now, the buyer is really leading the journey, not because they should, but because they don't trust you anymore. Prospects arrive telling you really what they want, what they think will work, and what they're willing to pay. And then you just nod, you agree, and you try to deliver. And when it fails, you take the blame. And that has become normal in your industry. And that should really, really worry you. In 2025, we spent 6 months embedded inside the digital marketing industry for research purposes only. This was not us really wanting to sell, not wanting to consult. However, we wanted to operate like a real business in your industry. These were, very long days, visiting network rooms, having white label conversations, and interviewing and qualifying hundreds of businesses. And guess what? The same pattern kept showing up again and again and again. Your industry is overcrowded, to say the least. Sadly, not with professionals, but with people who have learnt just enough to sell, but not enough to really lead or produce results. They took clients that they really couldn't help. They ran SEO that they didn't understand deeply enough to produce what was expected. And truthfully, many couldn't even rank their own businesses. So clients then paid, saw nothing changed, and walked away feeling burnt. Then they told others their experience, then the other people told the others, and so forth. So you can see the damage has compounded, and it's really at a tipping point right now. Buyers don't trust the system of marketing professionals anymore. They look at fragments of things like, videos and courses and opinions. They don't come to you for leadership. They come to you with instructions. And if you're honest with yourself, you accept them. And that's not because it's not right. It's because the prospects feel rare, and saying no means you might lose them to someone else. And I totally get that. This is where the real failure begins. Work starts without diagnosis, then foundations are ignored, and SEO is applied to businesses that are already structurally broken. And this is a big issue. So what happens? Nothing aligns, nothing compounds, and results don't come. And when it collapses, the buyer doesn't blame the process, they blame you. So that is another agency really added to the list. Another warning shared, another door quietly closes before the conversation really has started. This is not a talent problem. This is not really a tactics problem. It's a leadership problem. An industry that follows, the least certain voice to set direction will always fail, no matter how good the execution looks on paper. What fixes this isn't better SEO. It isn't more tools, and it isn't about working harder. It's about regaining control of the journey, diagnosing before delivering, then leading before executing. It's about operating from a system, not reacting to fear. Until that changes, SEO agents will keep struggling, not because they're bad at what they do, but because they are no longer in charge of the buyer's journey. Now, I hope you found this useful. I wish you all a great day or evening wherever you are in the world. Until next time, goodbye.